Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, police identify wanted man, person of interest killed in St. Catherine operation. The police have identified the two men who were killed in a St. Catherine operation Saturday morning as one of St. Catherine's top 5 most wanted men and a person of interest. Dead are Peter Davis, otherwise called the Devil, who was wanted for murder, and the 27-year-old Tavani Benjamin. Davis was featured on the police's Wanted Wednesday social media campaign this week. Official reports are that about 5:10 a.m., lawmen were conducting a targeted raid in West Prospect Bogwalk in the parish. It is alleged that upon arrival at the location, the lawmen were met with a gunfire. The police said officers took evasive action and returned the fire. 2 police officers were shot and injured during the incident. It is further alleged that the gunmen attempted to escape in the community and were intercepted by other members of the team when they were shot. 3 9mm pistols were seized during the incident. The injured police officers and the gunmen were transported to the hospital, where the policemen were admitted for treatment and the gunmen pronounced dead. The Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau is investigating, and the Independent Commission of Investigations has been informed of the incident. Manchester residents protest for electricity. Placard-bearing residents of New Forest in Manchester on Saturday morning blocked a section of the Alligator Pond main road to protest over the absence of electricity in parts of their community. They have been without electricity since July 3, when Hurricane Beryl impacted the island. Up to Tuesday of this week, the Jamaica Public Service Company said it had restored the power to 94% of its customers. It was also getting ready to welcome line crews from various CARICOM states to help with restoring electricity to the areas of the island still without. In the meantime, protests are growing as the people's patience wears thin. Citizens in the heart of New Forest are tired of darkness. When it reaches 5 o'clock in the afternoon, mosquitoes come down, eating us like pigs. I'm tired of buying diesel for the generator. It's not easy to afford $4,000 per day for a generator, and we are on the main, one resident complained. We operate business in the heart of New Forest. Why should it take all of 18 days for us to get back electricity? And the light post them not drop down, the resident queried. She argued that electricity has been restored to neighboring areas. Down in Rose Corner have light. What happened to New Forest? We are in the middle. Why we can't get back light? Asked the resident. Another resident said she is frustrated and warned that more protests are likely if power is not restored soon. The whole of my chicken and pork spoil. We not bad up nobody if you get light. When the mosquitoes come down 5 o'clock, you hear them come down, people dead. We need some light, she said. She warned that if we not get through today, it'll block tomorrow and every day until we get light. Over the past week, there have been protests for electricity restoration at Dover in St. Mary, Sheffield in Westmoreland, and Littis in St. Elizabeth. On Saturday morning, the JPS posted a schedule on its social media platforms of areas to be worked in each parish over the next 3 days. Man charged for fatal 2021 attack in Hillshire. 28-year-old Marlon Wilson, also called Jordan, of Hillshire St. Catherine, has been charged with the 2021 murder of a man in the community. Wilson is being accused of the killing of 41-year-old Charles Martel of Hillshire Drive. Reports from the Hillshire police are that about 7:15 p.m. on Monday, January 10, 2021, Wilson, along with 4 other persons, all armed with machete, knives, board and ice picks, attacked Martel, who was at home, causing multiple wounds to his upper body. He was assisted to hospital by residents, where he was admitted. On Friday, March 26, 2021, Martel succumbed to his injuries. On Wednesday, July 17, 2024, Wilson was involved in a domestic dispute, which resulted in him being apprehended by the police. He was later charged with the offense in the presence of his attorney. A court date is being finalized. Bar robbed bartender shot in Crofts Hill, Clarendon. A 41-year-old bartender was shot while fleeing a robbery at the establishment in Crofts Hill, Clarendon last night. She remains in hospital. The police are searching for the assailants. It is reported that about 10:30 p.m., patrons were at the bar when gunmen entered and robbed them of their possessions and an undetermined sum of money. The bartender reportedly ran from the establishment and was shot by the hoodlums. The men escaped in the area. The Crofts Hill Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the matter. 81-year-old woman killed in Clarendon house fire. An 81-year-old woman was killed in a house fire in Lioneltown, Clarendon on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Frederica Williams of a Poinciana Terrace address in Lioneltown. The police report that the fire was caused by a lit candle. Several southern communities across the central parish are still without electricity following the passage of Hurricane Beryl earlier this month. Just last week, at this month's sitting of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, head of the Clarendon Fire Division, Superintendent Horace Thomas, warned against the use of candles to illuminate homes after at least 3 families in the parish lost their houses to fires following the hurricane. The police report that about 12:46 a.m., a patrol team responded to calls that a 4-bedroom concrete dwelling was on fire in Poinciana Terrace in Lioneltown housing scheme. On arrival, the police were informed by other occupants that an elderly woman was still inside. According to reports, upon investigation, the fire was started by a lit candle in the deceased woman's room. A unit from the Maypen Fire Department responded to the incident, and following cooling down operations, the octogenarian's charred remains were found inside the room. The elderly woman was subsequently confirmed dead at hospital. An estimated value of the damage has not yet been determined. In January, a 60-year-old man died in a house fire in Howell's Content, Yorktown in the parish. Reports theorized that the race was linked to an electrical malfunction. In March, a 65-year-old man also perished in a house fire in Tollgate in a reported act of arson. St. James residents encouraged to replace documents lost during Hurricane Beryl. Residents in St. James who lost their documents, including IDs, during the passage of Hurricane Beryl are being encouraged to get replacements. Chairman of the Disaster Preparedness, Hazard Mitigation and Safety Committee of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Councillor Arthur Lynch, made the appeal at the committee's meeting on Thursday. If the person had a national voter's ID, he can also go to the electoral office and pay a fee of $2,000 and get back an ID within a month. As for the NIS, it's also easy. He can always go to the NIS office and he can pull his information and reprint that NIS number, Lynch said. However, he pointed out that the tax registration number may be sorted out after receiving a voter's ID, as this requires either a birth certificate or a national ID. Having an ID and a TRN help verify the identity of individuals requesting assistance, ensuring that the benefits are distributed to the right people and preventing fraud. These documentation are also critical for legal and financial accountability, as the government needs to document who receives aid. This is important for audits and reports to ensure that public funds are used appropriately. Meanwhile, a parish manager, Minister of Labor and Social Security, Georgia Taylor, noted that some residents who require assistance are without a National Voter Identification Card or a TRN. She noted that the assessment team will still proceed with residents who may have lost the documents during the passage of Hurricane Beryl or may not have had any formal identification. I would have instructed my officers to still do the assessment and to make a notation that these persons do not have an ID or a TRN, Taylor said. In some cases, residents have been able to use an old Rural Agricultural Development Authority ID in completing assessment forms. Taylor requested councillors in the municipality to educate constituents of the importance of having these documents. Please seek to educate again and inform. I know it is being done, but seek to speak with your constituents. It proves difficult for them to be able to benefit from what we are doing if they do not have these most important documents, she said. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.